Hey guys, so I hope you guys have a good day today. Today we're going to talk about episode 12 of Bad Buddy the series. Today was a very happy but sad day for me. Just happy because we finally got to see Pat and Pran have the happiest ending that they could possibly have in this situation. And sad because I know that this was probably the last time they're going to see them, if not ever, then until hopefully they do a season 2. So let's begin with the beginning. So the episode started with it announcing basically that 4 years have passed, and I was like, damn. So the preview was right. They really did separate. I was so sad throughout the whole time watching them go to the reunion. And also seeing Pat, whenever he ate something or just walking around different places, he would remember Pran. And I was like, oh, poor them. This is what, the suffering that they had to go through. And even though Pran is less expressive, I know that he's probably feeling the same way. This is so sad. And, to then get tricked later on. But we'll talk about that in a second. Also, in the beginning, another thing that I was like, oh no, they did it. P off really played us. When Corn and Y announced that they have girlfriends, I was like, what? I was like, why did you give me the little glimpse that Corn and Y were together in episode 11 to then destroy our dreams now? They both have girlfriends, and I'm like, ugh, okay, well, whatever. At least you could see the change in Y's character, which I really liked. How they mentioned that he's religious now and he's more calm, and you could also see how Drake has grown up as well. Well, Drake's character Corn has grown up as well, but still is silly like he used to be too. And it is really nice how they work together now. It's another enemies to friends story, but not to lovers. But it's so nice to see how if you get to know someone and you take the time to get to know them, if you didn't like them in the beginning, you may end up really liking them. So I did like how they show that message throughout not only Pat and Pran but through Corn and Y too. Ink Pa was thriving throughout this whole episode, which I loved. I loved that they didn't seem like they got any less close. When they got together, they seemed very close. Even how Ink was in Pat's house, and the way the mom and the dad seemed to be very happy that they were together. So I really did enjoy that too. Love that the girls are striving. Now let's talk about some of the, I think it was part 2 or part 3. Now you see that after they go to the reunion, because that they are actually together, because throughout the whole reunion I was having anxiety. I was like, oh my god, can they let them talk? Because everybody seemed to interrupt them, and I'm like, gosh, just let them speak, please let them speak. I want to know who's gonna approach who first, what they're gonna say to each other, because I'm here thinking that they're separated because of the way the story began. But then when Pat is in his room and he's on the phone and he's like, oh, who's at my door? When he opened the door and it was Pran, I literally I wanted to yell. Sorry guys, as you can hear my 2-year-old, just ignore her. So I literally screamed. I was like, oh my god. As soon as I saw him and he was on the phone too, I knew that I was right. So if you watched my rant on episode 11, I said that at first when the preview was going on, when they were like, oh, we broke up, I said, oh, maybe they're doing where they say they break up but they're not really breaking up. They just had to act like they're breaking up in front of everybody. But then I changed my mind when I saw that the preview where Pat was going around the dorm and he looked so sad. I was like, damn, so he really broke up. They really broke up. So I started crying. I was like, oh my god, no, they really did break up. So pee off, baby, cry for no reason, because I was right this whole time. They really did just lie to everybody. Well, except for like Inkpa and Corn, I believe it was that they told to help them keep their secret. I'm like, y'all are so annoying, but thank God that they did this instead of actually breaking up. And I'm sure what's his name, Y, was hella happy because they included him this time and that he actually knew that it was that they were actually together instead of, you know, Pran lying to him again. So I did love that, how they're really in inner circle, knew that they were still together. I thought that was really cute. Going on now to the parents. These parents are like ridiculous. And not really Pran's mom anymore, because Pran's mom, I get her, like she was the one that was hurt. So it is gonna take her a good minute to be able to even like speak to Pat's dad, especially if Pat's dad hasn't even apologized to her. So I get her completely. But I love how even though she knows that they're together because she hears them, she doesn't say anything. It's just like an unspoken thing. And same thing with Pat's dad, except that I'm like, Pat's dad, like, you're a whole adult, okay? You're an adult. You did something wrong. Like, you have two kids, not only one, two kids. Like, you adults need to. Mommy. Okay, sorry about that. My daughter was calling me to let me know that my mom was calling me. Where was I? What I was saying is that, like, Pat's dad is a grown-up, right? Like, and you have two kids. As a parent myself, you need to teach your kids, like, by example. So in this situation, like, as a grown-up that you are, he should have apologized to Pran's mom. And even though, like, they wouldn't continue to really, like, be buddy after that, but just, like, you need to show your kids, again, like, a good example. If you do something wrong, you should say sorry. You know, put your pride down and just say sorry to that person and move on. You don't have to be buddy with this person, but acknowledge that you did something wrong. So him being here, like, he wouldn't even taste the liquor that Pran bought for him. I'm like, oh my god, like, you're so ridiculous. Even when Pat finally goes home, because they mentioned that he hasn't been home for a while, which I like how they mentioned that, because it shows that Pat was really upset at his dad, but didn't want to, like, disrespect him, trying to go to his house and, like, maybe, like, them start arguing over Pran. So he took his time that he needed, which is completely valid, you know. He took his time where he was more calm and he felt like he could be more reasonable to go back to his house and be able to go back to talking to his dad in an okay fashion, instead of, you know, maybe, like, if he would have gone as soon as it happened back, they really probably would have a really big fight. Even then, like, when Pa was like, oh, is that Pat? The face that the dad made, I'm like, hello, like, this is your son. Like, your son is a bigger person than you. Like, he came to see you and is acting as if nothing happened, which, mind you, that's, you know, crazy, because I at least would have been like, you know, this is horrible that you did this to me. And I would have expressed my feelings towards them. We might have a little argument, but after that, then we will be good. But he was, like, acting all, like, he was so ridiculous. I'm like, bro, like, you are the one that stole Pran's mom's scholarship. Why are you acting like you the one that suffered here? Like, he's being ridiculous. So I really didn't get why Pat's dad was still acting all childish like, when he really doesn't need to, when he was the one that's wrong. He should have been the first one to be apologizing to Pran's mom and to Pat for making him grow up with all this anxiety and things, instead of being a whole freaking fool. That's what he was being. He was being a whole fool. But whatever. But even though at the end, like, they show that, again, him too, he knows that Pat goes to Pran's room because he hears it on the roof. He doesn't say anything. Which is, I mean, at least thank God that he's not out here bugging them. But even though it's like, you could tell throughout the episode that within time, Pran's mom and Pat's dad will eventually get to a place where they may be able to talk again. As you can see how he gave, like, the letters, he put it back into like the correct mailbox, which was Pran's mom's mailbox, and she looked at him and she didn't yell at him or anything, like she just let him be. I think that is a very reasonable way to end things. I think it would be very unreasonable if P.O.F. would have chosen to just end episode 12 with them just lovey-dovey out of nowhere. The parents, like, that they loved each other, and like they just loved each other again as friends, and that they just went back to being friends and they just accept Pat and Pran. Like, it's very unrealistic. So I do like the route that P.O.F. chose, where you clearly see that within time cures everything, right? Within time, they'll get to that place, but it's just not now. And I feel like, again, that's very realistic, because the hatred that they had, like the two families had, was so big. It cannot be done in, like, you know, a couple of weeks or a couple of months. This may take like a good year or two, you know, like a couple of years for them to be able to even be able to sit down in the same table together. So I did like that approach, because it was very, you know, again, realistic. So I did like how P.O.F. did that. Another thing which I was like squealing for, I was like, when I saw it, was their life together. Even though it mentions that Pat does have to go back in 2 weeks to Singapore to work, that whenever he does come back to Bangkok, I believe is where they live, he stays with Pat. It was so cute. And the little moment there, like when they were having their drinks and stuff, being fools, like they always are bickering everywhere, but of course they bicker all the time, but end with love, which is so cute. And how it was confirmed again, what I said in episode 11, that they're versatile. I was like, yes, versatile kings. You know, when Pran was like, you only did me for like 5 minutes, something like that. That shit was hilarious when he said that. But it was really cute. Again, how you could tell that throughout this whole episode, how much Pran has loosened up even more than what we've seen him throughout the series. Like, for example, with that joke, you could, like, the old him would probably never joke around like that. Like, I feel like the old Pran could joke a little bit, like, sexually with him, but not to that point. And another scene that comes to mind where you could really see that Pran has really comfortable with him now is when they go back to that place where they have the noodles, and he was like, oh, why do you got like more wontons or something like that now, more dumplings, I believe it is. And he's like, oh, because you know that I know that you're gonna take one and I'll eat the 3 that I usually eat. It's very sweet how you could see how comfortable he is with him, and how much they know about each other even more now, because they've been together for so many years now, which is so cute. So overall, I feel like I really did enjoy this ending. Like I said, I was just very annoyed at Pat's dad, because he's acting like a whole fool when he's a grown-ass man. But besides that, I really did enjoy this whole episode. It was a very realistic ending, and all I'm saying is I hope there's a season 2, because I need to see more of their life. Like, let's say when Pat is done with whatever job that he has going on right now in Singapore, and he moves back to where they usually live now, and see their life together. Espérate. See their life together now. Toma. And how, you know, that atmosphere would be like for them. And also then, like, I feel like in season 2 will be reasonable, where maybe they could try to connect the parents again, and have them slowly integrate into like a one big family, because we all know eventually these 2 are getting married, like. So fingers crossed for season 2. And I feel like that's all I really wanted to rant about. Bad Buddy has really been like one of the best BLs, if not the best BL that I've watched of 2021. So if you haven't watched it yet, please go and watch it because it is definitely worth every second of it. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.